In today's episode, I am taking my stock 2014 Ford F-150 STX with the V850 Coyote motor and converting it into a badass sounding veteran edition truck on a budget. I'm gonna try and pull out this dent, which more than likely this dent came from somebody that jackknifed whatever trailer they were pulling, so it pushed it in. I'm gonna see if I can get it more straight, just so it don't look so pushed in. I don't know. We'll see what happens, you know. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's an old pickup. It's just, that's character, but if I can get it a little bit more out, make it look a little nicer, I'm gonna try. So I took the bumper off. It's really just a bumper cover, like cover the crash bar. I pounded it out with my hammer. So the bump is all pounded back in, and then I use this to help straighten everything out. This I just can't get a good angle on. I was able to bend this back because this was like pushed down. And now you can see that whole bump, or that push-in bump, is gone. So, you know, it's not perfect, but I'll take this for sure. This doesn't look nearly as bad. All right, so today, I'm gonna be putting in new LED bulbs into my fog lamps. The ones that come stock are just not that bright. I like having the ability to be able to see the road. So LED fog lights are gonna at least light up the whole front area, and I do have bulbs coming for the headlights. I know people are like, oh, then I won't be able to see, blah blah blah, it's too bright. Well, this lets me see the road so I don't hit you, so that's why. And I don't hit deer and other animals at night, so you can see me. So yeah, I'm installing these LED fog lights. It's pretty simple, straightforward. Hopefully I can do it. I am wearing a glove because they recommend when you touch these bulbs to wear a glove. I already moved the tire, so it's inward so you can get more access. But basically, there's the fog lamp. So I got to disconnect the wire, turn that, pull it out, put the new bulb in, reinstall. It's that simple. So if you want to upgrade the lighting on your F-150 or any truck, pretty much, it's the same thing. It's very easy. Don't pay the dealership to do it. Just to give you an idea what the difference is, here's the bulb that came in the truck, just a regular halogen. This is the new LED one I'm putting in. Yeah, it is super bad booty. You know what I'm talking about? Look at, they're pretty much same size, so it's not like it's not gonna fit. And yeah, LEDs all around, baby. All right, there you go. Let me get the camera out of the way here, for the stand. There's the difference, right there. Super bright on the left, or on your right, whatever you want to call it. Super bright this way, stock bulb that way, down below. So, big difference in lighting color. I can't wait for the headlights to come. It's gonna look so awesome. Yeah, oh yeah, it's bright. Compared to the stock one, which is that. So I got my Veteran Edition emblems in, so I'm gonna install them on the truck. I already installed the sweet American flag, so that's pretty awesome. But yeah, I want to get these on, and I'll show you what it'll look like as well, because I already did it on the back. So I covered up that one, where that one emblem was, and it was like kind of funky with the paint. So I covered that sucker up. So we already got it on the back. Good to go. All right, so I already pre-cleaned all these areas with the rubbing alcohol. I went over it twice because the areas, you know, the truck's dirty. So I wanted to make sure everything's clean before installing these so they stay on. All right, so now I got the tape in my position. So now it'll be easier to line this thing up. I won't have to do all the guesswork, making sure it's flat. Okay. And it's just holding it in, nice and tight. Bada boom, she down. Now all I gotta do is just measure where it's at and then duplicate it on the other side. And here's my latest addition to the truck. This was a pain in the butt to put on. I probably should have watched the installation video, but I didn't, and I probably don't even have the tools to do it anyways. But yeah, so it was a pain in the butt. I did have to pull this out of the way, and now that I have it all disconnected, I think I'm gonna redo this. So I'm gonna respray it, make it look a lot newer. You know, it's got some scuffs and whatnot, getting banged up. Figure get it coated, get it protected. Maybe drill another drain hole in the bottom. It's got two, but yeah, I think I want to do that. I might get some new rubber for the inside to make sure it seals better. But yeah, so I'm gonna work on this, and hopefully I can get it looking a lot better than what it is. All right, so I painted all of this. I still got to go like another coat, but for right now, it's all got one coat on the under. Now I gotta do the top side here, because you see it's got some damage. And then I want to paint the inside too. I did drill 2 additional holes to let any water that gets in here out, because it had a hole there and a hole there, but nothing in the middle, so it kind of pool in the middle. So I just drilled 2 extra holes, let the water get out. So now I just got to vacuum this out and wipe it down, and then I want to spray the inside as well as the outside. So that's what I'm going to work on next. I did redo the emblem. So now all the lettering's been redone, and then I clear coated it. So that's where I'm at so far with this makeover on the truck toolbox. All right, there we go. That's what it looks like with the toolbox all repainted, and with the eagle. And then I had a little bit of truck bed liner left, so I just coated that inner part over there. So it's all been another coating of it on, and then I did the wheel wells since they had some more nicks in them and stuff. So yeah, truck should be good now on the outside. Now I can start working on the inside here. Today with the truck, I am going to try and rip out the old stock stereo, which doesn't work, and put in an aftermarket touchscreen. That way I'll have backup camera, and hopefully everything will work. I don't know, we'll see. I got a whole kit to do it, so it should be plug and play, but who knows. It's been a while since I've done a stereo system in a vehicle. And here's the kit I got for the truck. I ordered it off of Amazon, so it's got the whole new plastic piece that will replace the OEM one. Interface controls, so to work with the steering wheel. Came with this little pry tool, and then the antenna adapter, so to work with the aftermarket stereo. And here's the stereo. I bought it from Walmart. So yeah, it was a lot cheaper getting this radio from Walmart So I got it from there. Pretty simple. Works with CarPlay and, you know, Android Auto, all that good stuff. Touchscreen. Yep. So that's what I got to install. All right. So I'm trying to install my radio, and I got this far. I had to loosen this, pull that back, loosen this, pull that back. So the reason why my radio never worked, and this is why you can't trust really any dealership. Like if something doesn't work, it's like, you gotta fix it. Now granted, we bought this truck and we got the discount because the radio didn't work. But I'll show you why, no matter what I did, replaced the fuse, tried everything, did the online hacks. There's no unit behind there. That radio was never working because it didn't exist. Needless to say, I am shocked. So good thing I have a radio, because trying to fix this one was never gonna happen. So yeah. Oh man, this is a first for me. I've never opened a car up and been like, there's no radio at all. Like, it looks like there's a radio, but there's not. There's no unit. This is crazy. So good thing I ordered the kit to replace everything, because I ain't buying at least $400 Ford unit when I can get something better with a screen and have backup camera and all that. All right, so I got it all disassembled. I got all like the little parts. It's all pretty much plug and play. You undo it from the harnesses. Got that one out. So now I need to take this, which is my climate control unit, out. And I'm going to transfer these guys along with this, and this to the new faceplate. But yeah, there you go. That's what it looks like when you don't have this panel in. I mean, there's supposed to be a radio in there, but you know, minor details, I guess. Right. So here's what I'm working on right now. I got my Sony radio. I got the mounting bracket. That is a universal Ford bracket. You just have to break tabs off depending on what vehicle you have. So I broke all the tabs off. I just need to screw this to the deck. And then I also got everything off of the original plastic center console and moved it to this console. So you can see that's still open because that's where the USB and auxiliary plug go. But there is a screw that has to go there. So I don't want to put that on yet because I wouldn't have access to that screw hole. But yeah, it's just basically take off everything from the original and then just put it into the correct mirror slots. So yeah, that will be the new center console. Back in the truck. All right, so this is what it looks like, but nothing in it. You saw that before. I do have all this put together. I got my Sony instructions, so just in case. Backup camera, cable that I'm gonna have to run. And then this crazy amount of wiring. There's a lot of stuff that this harness has for like upgraded trim levels. So like your rear entertainment system. I can't remember what this, I think this is for subwoofers, factory subwoofers, and then, oh, nope, here's factory subwoofers. So this is for, I believe, your amp or something like that, factory amp. I don't have any of that in this truck with this trim level. But yeah, we got the unit that controls the steering wheel controls. And make sure they all work. And yeah, everything's done. I did these crimpy guys that have where they have the shrink wrap built in. So I crimped them, made sure they're tight, and then shrink wrapped everything so it's all waterproof and whatnot. Couple things that I don't need to use. This is like if I'd had an aftermarket amp or if I had a power antenna, which I don't. All right, so I got it all installed again, and here we go. That's what it looks like. Boom. Everything's put back together. That's my Bluetooth mic. So this is where the stock position was. So all I did is I just kind of fed it through there, and now I got my mic right there in the stock position. But yeah, seems to be working. I still got to hook up the rear view camera, so right now it's just showing that, but that's okay. Speakers kind of suck with this deck because it puts out enough power to where it I can only turn it up so high without it crackling. So that's going to have to be a future purchase, but all the speakers are here. They all work. So I'm really happy about that. Make sure everything else works. Oh yeah. All that stuff works. Now this works too. So everything works. So this is good. All right, so I got the backup camera all installed. I'll show you. There we go. Boom. I don't know how to adjust that little line. I know I can shut it off. I gotta figure that out, but it works. So that's the good part. See? Boom. It works. Oh. So that's all done finally. Got my screen, got my backup camera. Now I feel a lot better about backing this thing up. I mean, I was doing it fine with the mirrors I have, but it's always nice to see what's directly behind you to get a tighter parking spot. So here's the grills for my front door speakers. It just took a plastic pry bar, just pop them out. Not too hard. So what I want to do is I want to paint these to match the back, or at least make them black. Because yeah, this is just like rust and crap. So I don't want that. So I'm going to spray them and make them look a little bit better. All right. So we just did some rattle can action on these guys. These are those speaker grill covers. And yeah, all I'm using is the Rust-Oleum Rust Reformer, because it instantly converts rust to a protected paintable surface and then stops rust. So yeah, that's all I'm doing. I don't know if I'm gonna paint them something or if I'll just leave this, I mean, it's basically got a primer on it right now, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how they turn out. Project on the truck. I'm installing the speakers. So what we got going here is I had to take the whole assembly off. And then we have the harness that feeds the speakers. Now, the way they have it attached is this is what's at the end of the harness. And there's a clippy on the speakers that it clips to. Well, on aftermarket speakers, they don't have these little clippies unless you order them. Instead, they come with a small wiring harness. And yep, so all I did was match the lines, because you have your black, white, and your white. Just match them to that, splice them in, and now I can plug in my speaker and attach it, and we should be good to go. And that's really how easy it is to do the speakers. The hard part is just figuring out, how to take the door off. And guess what? There's YouTube for that. So that's really it. So these are Pioneer A series, so they're not like super ooper top of the line. I got them from Walmart. But they're like, they're a step up from the G series. So you got like G is better than the stock speakers. Well, this is a step up above that. So yeah, we're doing a pretty good upgrade here. And yeah, like I said, I got them from Walmart. Some 6x8s. It's people were saying you don't need to amp these, but you can, because they can put out a lot of power. So I'm gonna hook them up, see how they sound. Oh, here's what was attached to that stock speaker. This little guy right here. I just cut it. I wasn't sure if I was gonna try to reuse it or not, but yeah, the stock speakers they're they're not really good. They don't look bad. Here's what they look like. They look pretty decent, but yeah, they're max power 25 watts. Well, that radio in there is putting out 20, 22, 20, something like that. 20 or 22 watts minimum. Yeah, it's basically maxing the speakers out like immediately. So you try to do any sort of, you add bass to that and all that, it's just gonna blow it out. Because this deck will put out 55 watts on the big end. So it's minimum 20, 22, and then 55. So yeah, we're over what those speakers can handle. So yeah, we'll see. At least this deck is kind of close to what these run at constantly. So that's why we'll see. Hopefully I don't need to amp them. I've used Pioneers in the past and I haven't had to amp them, so we'll see. They sound good. Might sound better with an amp, but whatever. As long as it sounds good. So, I got the speaker in, and I just used the original Ford cover just to protect it because the one that comes with the Pioneer isn't really a cover at all. So yeah, I just put the original one back on. So it looks completely stock until you see that it's not, or hear that it's not. Everything, you know, you saw the deck and everything. The speakers are all installed. This is what my pillar speakers look like now. You can faintly see the Pioneer. And then everything else looks stock. You can see the grill panels now that they've been painted, so they match the rest of the door. Much better than having metal with rust on it. So, yeah, truck is coming along. It's pretty much, I think I got pretty much everything done that I wanted to do to it. Now my next thing is gonna be like performance upgrades. Like I'm gonna do the exhaust. I'm gonna make my own catback exhaust. I have a muffler already that I was gonna use on the Camaro. It's a Thrustmaster FX. So all I gotta do is take out the muffler, put in my muffler. I'm gonna have to get some pipe, some exhaust pipe, and then just fill in the gaps. But yeah, I'll do my own catback exhaust and make this thing louder, get some more power out of it, and then I'll look at how I can modify the intake so it can get more air, and then maybe a tuner so I can really take all the power and actually use it from all the modification and gains. So still more to come on modding this truck, but I think it's looking pretty good. So today I'm gonna try and install these running boards on the pickup. I got the kit all laid out. We got all the driver's side, all the passenger side. So I verified that we got everything. The bars are still in the box. Came with all the mounting hardware. So it's supposed to be pretty easy to install. We'll find out. You never know until you start getting into it, but and it's got the instructions, bunch of reading, blah, blah, blah. And then we get to the pictures. So there we go. We'll see how this turns out. I'm hoping that this looks pretty awesome. I mean, this is what the truck looks like right now before having running boards, and hopefully it will look pretty sweet with the running boards, but also just have the functionality for the kids to be able to get in and out of, and for me too, because right now this truck is fairly high. It sits pretty high, and yeah, running boards will be a nice addition. It'll help. All done with the running boards. Wasn't too hard to install them. I was just making sure you didn't mix up the hardware. So pretty much everything is, you don't have to do any drilling or anything. It's just all bolt in. So yeah, mounting brackets and everything like that. And then up front, it's the same thing. I just had to undo 2 bolts and that was it. To be able to put in the new stuff, but yeah, everything's in. pretty easy. So there we go. There's how it looks right there. So, yep, another mod done. So, I am currently at a pick your parts auto salvage yard, and going around looking for some of the stuff that's missing on my truck, like a jack, toolkit, all that type of stuff, and a spare tire. So I did find this tire right here. It's still got some decent tread on it. Like I said, it's a spare tire. So far that's what I found. I'm looking also to see if I can find there's a 2010 F150 in here that may have some mirrors that will may work with my truck, and hopefully I can find a jack kit. If not, I know I can order all that stuff online, but yeah, if I can get it cheaper here, I mean, you can see it's just come in, grab what you need, pay for it. It's a lot cheaper if you're willing to do it yourself. You got to bring your own tools, everything like that. So I still got to look inside this truck and see if it does have the jack and toolkit and all that, but so far I found a tire at least. That's a big expense. So while I was at the scrap yard yesterday, the pick your parts yard, I ended up cutting off this piece of exhaust, mainly because I wanted an additional hanger. So when I make my custom catback exhaust, I wanted the additional hanger, and it had this tip on it. So I pulled the tip off. I just need to clean it up. I also grabbed this flange just in case I needed a second one, in case I screw up welding on the one I already have. And I got all this off of a 2010 Ford F-150. And it was $4 for all that. So getting a tip and everything, that's not a bad price. Then I showed you I got this tire. Now this thing still has a good amount of tread on it. It's a little uneven, so whoever had it on their truck, your alignment was off, but that's okay. It's okay. This is going to make a great spare tire. It's an 18-inch wheel with a full tire on it. So if I need to have a spare tire, I can put this on. I don't have no donut or nothing like that. I can just put it on the truck, drive on, normal deal, you know? So yeah, full-size tire as a spare. All I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna put that tire shine on it just to give it a coating of protection. I'm gonna do it on both sides. I did go, and because it didn't come with a jack or any of the tools for the spare tire, I went to Lowe's and picked up a hydraulic bottle jack. It's a 12-ton, so it should lift the truck no problem. Even if there's a load in it, they're a lot more reliable than the scissor jacks that normally come with the truck. Or if I had a trailer with a load on it, I should be able to jack the trailer. So that's what I got. I also had a big pry bar, or not a pry bar, breaker bar from my great grandpa, a really long bar, so I can use that if I need to change the tire. And I had an extra 21 millimeter socket, impact socket head. So that's my tire changing kit right there. So I got everything now for a spare. That was one of the downsides of this truck, is it didn't have anything. And what also is nice with this spare tire, if I was gonna go order the OEM steel rim, you can get it off Amazon, it's $148. Well, then you also got to put a tire on. You're at least minimum paying $100 to $150 on a tire. So right there, you're close to $300. I got my spare at that pick yard for $89 with a tire on it. And it holds air because it had air in it. It was pert near at factory recommended. I topped it off just to make sure. So yeah, 89 bucks for a spare with tire. That's a win-win right there. So I'm pretty happy with that deal. Got it all cleaned up. It's not too bad, not too bad. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's a spare tire, so whatever. But it is all cleaned up. So there you go. 89 bucks versus 300 or more. All right, here's what it looks like all in the truck now. It is the biggest tire you can put in here for a spare. There is not a whole lot of clearance left. So there we go. Spare tire, check. And then I also put, remember how I painted this box? I also put new weather stripping on now. So now it should seal up a whole lot better and keep any water out. All right, so part of my custom intake that I'm trying to do is I made this opening way bigger. So now it still grab the cold air from the fender and not from the engine bay like most cold air intakes do. So what I did is I just increased the diameter. I cut out all the unnecessarily plastic. There used to be plastic right here, and I rounded the edges. So now the air can come in instead of just through this one spot. It can come in and then spread out and hit the whole filter, allowing hopefully better airflow. I don't know. I am not an engineer, and it's probably so insignificant that it might not even make any difference. But I'd figure I'd give it a shot because it is free to do. And all I did is I took my Dremel. You can see all these plastic that I cut out all over here. And I just cut it out and then took sandpaper, smoothed it out. So there we go. Possibly more air coming into the box. Still want to figure out what I want to do with this intake. But at least now I know I might have a couple more CFM coming into the motor. All right, so I cut my exhaust out. Cut there, and I cut here, and I undid the bolts there. So that's a resonator, that's the muffler. All this I'm taking out. This I'm going to reuse. This is in really good shape, and it is thick, and there's not any crazy weird bends. So yeah, this one's good to go, and it already has a hanger. So what I got to do is I got to get my muffler out, probably attach these hangers or figure out how I'm going to hang it, and then I have to cut this end off or use that end and weld in a whole new pipe that's going to go from there to the muffler. So that's what I got to do, and then I'll have to weld this, which I might have to extend this to the muffler depending on where I put this muffler. So I don't know yet. So I've never built an exhaust before, so I'm kind of going off of the original exhaust because that's all I'm trying to replicate. Except I'm going to minus the resonator. I'll still have a muffler, and I still want it to come out in the stock position. So this guy cut off of there because I need that piece to clamp on. I need that flange. So I have it kind of laid out. So I know right here I'm going to have to cut this. So then it slides into there and slides into there. So then that's a pipe. That pipe slides into the muffler. All right, so now I got the whole front half done. Here's the problem. So when you look at this muffler, it comes in here and it exits straight line. My muffler comes in there and then curves. So this is where the problem is. Either I got to put a curve in up there, or I got to put in a curve in over here to meet that same position. I think it's easier for me just to make a straight pipe, have it go right to here, bada bing, bada boom, if I can figure out this curve to take it so many inches over. Because yeah, even right here, this one's not completely over, but yeah, and this muffler's so much smaller. So this is what's making it difficult, is if I was just doing pipe, it'd be easy, but I'm going off of a muffler that's smaller. So I'm gonna try and cut off these hangers off of here. I wanna cut these off and see if I can weld them on. So then I still have the stock mounting points for at least this stock one and that one. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make this stock point work. That stock point will work. So this is the dilemma, is connecting this side to what will be that. That needs to come over here though, because I'm reusing this pipe. So if I kind of line it up the same way, she's gonna need to be right here. So I need to have this curve here. That's what I gotta figure out. Because if this is all lined up the same way, that's the type of curve I need. And that's where, does it make more sense to do the curve there or here? I don't know yet. So this is why, you know, they have companies that do all the research and development and figure this all out, so you don't have to. But I am building this exhaust, this catback exhaust, on a budget. I already had the muffler. All I had to do is go buy the pipe. I'm reusing that pipe. I got that from the boneyard, so I just got to clean it up, you know, the tip. So that's what I'm trying to work with. And it's not as easy as I was hoping. All right, so I got my exhaust built. This is from the Y pipe. The Y pipe has the catalytic converters. So from where the Y pipe ends, that's where that connects. So there's that pipe. And then that connects to this pipe, which has the muffler. And all I did was, after cleaning it up, I put some of this auto primer, high heat primer, up to 2,000 degrees, just to give it like a coating. I don't know if I'm gonna paint it black or whatever, but this is just to kind of just give it a little protection, so it's got something. The rest of the exhaust is still on the truck. That's all the stock pipe with my tip that I got from the junkyard. I did have to add to that because, you know, that muffler was so long. And I added a hanger. That hanger is off of the pipe I got from the junkyard as well. So it actually came in handy. So I welded that on, and now that's my new hanger for that pipe. I decided to throw on some black paint that I had lying around. All this paint I've had. It's just a matter of using it like I had it for different projects. So flat black, and then threw the satin clear on it, because that's what I had lying around. Figure at least it gives it some protection, and maybe it'll hold up longer. I don't know. We shall see. But yeah, it's all painted at least. So here's the after of how the exhaust sounds with the new 3-inch custom-made catback with the Flowmaster FX muffler. Replacing my Ford emblems on the truck with these American flag emblems. That's what it looks like on the grill. Oh, where? There we go. So I'm gonna take that one off, and then I gotta take the tailgate one off, and yeah. I think these new emblems will go with my design more. And this is what it looks like when the front emblem's all done. All it is 10mm nuts on the back of it and the sticky tape. So once you take the nuts off and then pry that thing out, then it's pretty easy. Put the new one on, put the 10mm nuts back on, and boom, that's it. It's really easy to do, and it gives the truck a nice custom look. So for the tailgate emblem, all it is just sticky taped on, like 3M taped on. So all you got to do is take a plastic pry tool, like for doing interior work, and just pry it off, clean off all of the 3M tape, you know, the goopy stuff that's on there. If it doesn't come off because your truck is newer, you might need to use a heat gun to heat it up, and then it'll pull off easier. Got it on. So now it totally goes with my Veteran Edition. Still got the F-150 emblems on, but yeah, now everything matches. Truck's all black and white, tiny bit of red. Well, you know, you got red there and whatnot, so that's okay. But everything goes together now. There we go. Mission accomplished. Truck customized. All right, so here's what the truck looks like all done. So I added the LED bulbs for both the headlights and the fog lights, which makes it a lot easier to see, and it just gives it a more modern truck look with the bright bulbs in it. And it's a lot cheaper just to do the bulbs instead of doing the full light conversion, which sometimes with the aftermarket, they're not, you know, they don't seal as well, and you'll have where the moisture and water can get into it. I've had, when I was doing like research on it, there was people that were saying, yep, these are great, blah, blah, blah. They look awesome, but there's moisture getting in them. So I figured the best way to go about this, and the budget way to go about it, is let's leave the stock light, put the new LEDs in, and that way I don't have to worry about any moisture issues. And it gives me the light look that I want. I wanted bright white. We got bright white. And the mission accomplished, you know, without sacrificing the original Ford, I guess, quality. And it's definitely a lot cheaper just to replace bulbs. Added my emblems. Added running boards. Got those off of realtruck.com. They were on sale, $151 for, you know, both sides. Normally $227. So got the deal there. Added the window cover guides, whatever you want to call them, the shade covers. Added my eagle. Dude, that thing looks just so awesome. Painted the toolbox. So just redid it, painted it inside and out. You saw I replaced the lock in the previous video because that was broke. So yeah, the whole inside's been redone. I also replaced all the weather stripping in it. So now it seals up much, much better. I don't have to worry about water getting in here. And even if water does get in, I do have, there's 2 holes drilled right here. There's a hole there. So that way the water can get out of the box if it gets in. Just did little touch-ups in the bed. Just with truck bed liner where it needed it. Recoated under there. That bumper looks like after I pulled out that big dent. So I mean, it's not perfect, but there ain't a dent there anymore, so that ain't too bad. And then I put a reflective strip right here just to give a little bit extra visibility at night. Veteran plates. There's the backup camera. And that's what this side of the truck looks like. One of the big add-ons was the exhaust. I made a custom 3-inch catback exhaust with, you saw I got this chrome tip from the junkyard. I had a muffler lying around for the Camaro, and since I'm not ready to put it on the Camaro yet, why not put it on the truck? Painted everything black just so it has a coating on it, welded everything up. It still has all the stock points of mounting and where you normally would do your, you know, your, what do they call it? Brackets, bracing, whatever. Spare tire from the junkyard. So that's all good to go now. Didn't have one before. Flowmaster FX. So yeah, everything is, it looks good. It's, you know, a lot of work replacing and just making it sound the way I wanted it to sound. So yeah, 3-inch exhaust from the cat's back, where the box goes into the fender to pull in air from the outside so the air is cold and not air from the engine bay. I did increase the size of the box. I did leave a tool here. I did increase the size of the mouth opening, so now it can flow more air in to the truck. So between the big mouth intake I made and the filter, a little bit more volume of airflow. And then if you add the exhaust, the truck definitely has more power. It definitely has more get up and go. And it sounds cool. So there's all the outside mods. On the inside of the truck, we added the floor mats, the smart liners, or max liners, whatever. It's the same thing. I ordered max liners. They sent me smart liners, so I guess it's the same. You saw I painted these grills. So now they don't look like crap, rusted crap. They match the rear grills. Did the 7-inch touchscreen. That's why I have the backup camera now. New speakers, all new speakers. They're 6x8s in each door. So there's 4 of those. And then I got these guys right here in the pillars. Got some Pioneers. It's Pioneer speakers all around with the Sony deck. And it sounds really good. You don't even need to amp it. I mean, you can, but you don't need to. So yeah, that's I think that is all the mods I did. Big difference. And I still got, you know, a little bit more work to do, you know, touching up this, any of the scuffs and whatnot. But otherwise, this truck is good to go. It is good to go. So I'm really happy with it. It's super easy to work on. Like, I was kind of shocked. Like, just doing all the stuff to it.